Well, hello everyone. Welcome to another week of Reddit League Season 3. We are in Europe, our continent map for the season, and we've got another French derby. We had one in Division 1, and now we've got one in Division 3, Calamity, between Pastek and Armand, and they're having very opposite kinds of seasons.
Yeah, it couldn't have been much difference. Armand so far still unbeaten at the top of the table with a very satisfying start or like first half of the season essentially. As a newcomer, no particular problems so far. And he doesn't have like the biggest lead yet, but he is in pretty strong position going forward. Whereas Pastek, the one good thing for him is that he is safe from direct relegation with the two red cards. The worst he can be is 10th, which does give him one additional match where he has the opportunity to save himself. But if he can maybe have an amazing end to the season, he might be able to even save himself a bit earlier. But looking at their stats, it doesn't look the most likely. Difference of 2,700 points in the average points. 13 aces difference. I'm always more than double the aces of Pastek. So Pastek would need to do something quite special, or in maybe hope for something like one super difficult round that he gets and Amor doesn't, and the rest is just super easy. But other than that, it is a very difficult challenge for him to get anything out of this game.
His best game is almost 1,000 points off, nowhere close to a perfect game that Armand has there. Yeah, the map is Europe, made by the French community, so perhaps these two are well familiar with it. Over 30,000 locations been played almost 16,000 times. Average score 20,000, or roughly 19,000, 20,000. So a pretty good average score there. But yeah, this map very varied. You could be in major cities to the oh god, godforsaken countrysides of countries like France, where you just
Greece.
Greece, a little Greece mainland actually isn't that bad. It's the islands that I hate because you're like, I'm on a Greek island. Great. Good luck figuring out what the name of it is. So, and there's so many of them. Things like that. I think even Turkey is included in this one. We could be anywhere from Portugal all the way into Eastern Europe. So definitely very interesting and could really challenge our country knowledge in Europe. I mean, going by the stats, Calamity, we pretty much have to say that Armand is the favorite. But maybe with one or two weird locations, like you mentioned, Pastek could take this one.
Yeah, it's either the one or two very difficult locations or just all five of them very easy. Then he's got a decent chance as well of potentially pulling off a good enough score so that he's at least in draw range.
And don't forget, there's also some bonus points that could be given out that he could definitely use to stay up in Division 3. So, yeah, let's just get into this and jump right in to round number 1. And I think we
Greece.
are in Greece.
Yes. And I always have to look through these videos beforehand to check for timestamps when they started their rounds. And so I usually get like the first 1 or 2 seconds of what happens in a round. And Pastek's first words essentially were obviously in French, but they were, well, it's lost. So not particularly happy about Greece, it seems.
Yeah, the good thing is so far the signs we have seen have also had English, or at least phrases in Latin alphabet to help us out here.
Yep,
So,
both are the same because the other direction is a dead end anyway. Hermopolis and two others that sometimes appear and sometimes are pretty blurry. And a bunch of other smaller towns, presumably, that Mo is currently looking at.
thought I saw in the distance a coastline. So we might, I mean, it's Greece, so we're not usually far from the coast anyways, but Armand
Yeah,
definitely looking at those southern islands or peninsulas as a
yeah.
place.
And the very annoying thing about this one, you can already see on Armand's screen there, Hermopoli, the island, just over there. And you can read it on the signs on the left as well, especially on the bottommost sign. It says Hermopolis on the very bottom. But the one sign that actually says it in Latin as well has the transliteration wrong. So it includes an H at the start of it. And therefore, if you aren't looking at that, if you're not aware of that, that you'd imagine, like, I'm assuming as a viewer, you're thinking like, well, it's one letter at the start. Like, surely you'd still spot it, but you'd be surprised.
Yeah.
If you're just looking for something that starts with an H, you, even if the rest of the word is the same, you wouldn't necessarily be able to realize and see that thing that's written on the map there.
Yeah, I was about to say, definitely when I do word searches, I'm looking for that first letter, not anything else really. And if you don't catch it, then you're just gonna miss it. So...
You look for the first letter before you even look at the rest of the word.
Mm-hmm.
So if the first letter is not the same, then you don't even continue to look at the rest of what the city name might be.
And with just under a minute and a half left to go in this one, they're both looking around the same area, but not able to figure anything out quite yet. Again, but if neither of them can find it, it probably bodes well for Pastek here, just having a little bit of a chance that, you know, maybe you're going to be a couple 100 points difference here as long as you both don't find it.
Now it requires him being luckier.
Yeah.
And that's not really what you want to be relying on, but it is a chance at least, yes.
Their pins aren't too far away, and just the clock slowly ticks down, just trying to read as many Greek names as they can.
They've both been checking a lot of islands. I think Pastek started with the islands, and Armand, checked the coastline of the mainland first and then went to the islands and now back to the mainland. But I don't think either of them, like, even ignoring like just the spelling mistake, I don't think either of them have checked the specific island yet.
Yeah, that's what I talked about. There's just so many of them. You sometimes you feel like you checked everything, and then nope, there was one little or a couple little ones you just kind of skimmed just outside of your vision. And you're like, oh man, and yeah, we will see time run out on both of them. And actually that last minute click by Armand will actually put him a little bit further away and keep this one pretty close after the first round where no one finds anything. 3,422 for him, 3,291 for Pastek. So he is behind, but that gap probably closable.
Yeah, definitely. But again, Armand has been doing so well so far that it would require another very difficult round. If the rest of them are just easy, then Armand's probably not going to drop 300 points. So we'll have to see what the rest of the seed has in store for us.
Well, Greece was round one. We'll jump into round two, and well, from the lovely Mediterranean to the snow-covered something. Probably Eastern Europe. I don't know where exactly you would draw that line, but more Eastern than Western.
I think we've talked about that in one cast before about how different countries would probably consider that line to be at different places.
Yeah, probably.
Especially the ones in the middle of Europe.
No, I'm not.
You might get. I don't think there's anyone that's gonna say, "Hey, I'm not Western," unless they obviously are an Eastern country. I think the issue is more so the other direction around of countries saying, "I'm not Eastern Europe. We're Central Europe."
Ah, yeah. Or trying to claim to be a little bit Western to not be lumped in with those, but just by the looks of things, I would say probably a former communist country might be a little bit of a safer bet. Argue about yeah, that is Czech or Slovakian or something like that. I couldn't really see the letters too well. Yeah, that's probably Czech.
Yep.
Now that I have a good look at the sign, all little dashes above the letters tends to be those group of languages down there, and sure enough, they will both zoom into that area. Both checking out the eastern part of the country to start with, at least. Pastek, though, moving very fast around the whole country, trying to spot some town names. But I don't know if this town's going to be something you want to be looking for.
Usually you wouldn't want to. It kind of depends a bit on how good you are at map searching, because there are people that are very good at keeping in mind what areas they have checked already. And then there are people who just go back and check the same areas 7 times and just lose a lot of time by that. Um, I, in general, would not recommend looking for a town name in Czechia unless you either know that the town is big enough for you to be able to find, or you have no other options. And
That's
the thing is, there, Amor has a road number, so
mm,
now Pastek has it as well. So they
yeah.
do have other options.
Yep. Very different signs, but essentially a lot of the similar information, except especially the big cities are both on there. And actually, now that we know it's the 445, I was gonna say it looked like Pastek knew that road number from the sign on the bridge, and it is the same number, 445 dash something. So if he did pick that up, that's a nice little tip there. But
Yeah.
it will be Armand who narrows it down. Yeah, that dash 12 definitely helping out. And yeah, he pinpoints that with just about a minute left to go. That sign really helped him narrow down things. Pastek a little bit more lost. He's
I
in
mean,
the
he
right
is in the.
area. Yeah.
Yeah. He's not going to drop too many points, but he's also, unfortunately, not going to make up any points here.
You can see that 445-10 on that bridge. So giving you some of those very small road numbers.
Yeah, I wonder if Pastek just, I don't know, has he seen the town name? Because, well,
Yeah, he's just too far out of it. He
okay.
was sitting right there at the edge of town, like Armand was. Well, can't tell. You didn't zoom in far enough for me to read the numbers. If that's the, it is. So, uh, cuts it pretty close. But an ace for both of them means that this one stays pretty close and definitely doable for Pastek after a pretty straightforward round, I would say. They had some good
Yeah.
road numbers and some major towns as well.
Yeah, at least the distance didn't get any bigger. So just same scenario again. Needs one round where Amor just can't find the right location and everything's possible again.
We'll jump into round number 3 then, and hopefully more Eastern Europe again. We're just on a wide open road, so we'll wait to see a little bit more information before we try to draw too many conclusions.
In opposite directions, so that's always good for the person who's behind. It gives the opportunity to maybe see something different.
It's also good for us. We get to see different things. Oh, there we go, a town name. And that's Polish.
And we'll
Not
see if
too
they
far.
paid attention and still remembered their Polish knowledge from week 1.
Yeah, so we just move one country over this round. And yeah, entering different towns. Going opposite directions, that would be the case. Be weird if they didn't.
It's possible. Could be in sort of like a loop.
Yep, definitely possible. But yeah, that's a much nicer sign for Armand than anything Beck has seen so far.
Yeah, so Amon will just be looking for the 791, and he knows which town he's entered. So once he finds the road, he should be pretty much good. At least to the point of maybe dropping at most 50 points or so.
Beck entering his second little village. And he is pretty convinced he's down around the south somewhere. So he seems to be remembering Poland a little bit.
Well, you don't know if he's right or not.
That's true. But Armand, who has a road number, is also in that similar area. So he has found the 791, and he's found the town.
Yep.
Now I know that Pastek's intuition wasn't too bad. And yeah, Armand, very fast. 5K, I would assume, there. Found that road. And yes, 10 meters away.
Oh, Plastic just had a phone number there. Let me go back quickly to check out if that. No, I think that was a mobile number. So no, not useful for him there.
Yeah, he's really gonna need some kind of lots of town names, all sorts of directions, but no road number to really help him.
I think those are street names actually. I'm not
Oh,
100% sure,
okay.
but
Wasn't
I feel like I've seen them in that on these kind of signs before.
with that like town crest on them
Yeah,
instead of actual.
yeah.
Okay, that's not bad. And figure out what road you're on in a small village, definitely helpful. But he needs some more bigger helpful information with a minute left to go.
Yeah.
He's still not narrowed down. Oh, thought he hit dead end for a second, but
He seems pretty confident about the south. I don't know if we've just missed any kind of information that he's seen, or if he's just convinced based on the landscape. I don't know.
maybe did put a little bit of practice in week 1 in Poland, so remembering some vague memories. But he will head back to the start and now head west. Nothing big open road. About 20 seconds left.
As we know from Armand, it would take more than the 20 seconds he's got left to find any useful information to this direction.
So his pin's not in a bad spot. He will lose points, but not too much, as long as he doesn't make a last second click and cost himself a bit more. I don't think he will. He'll just say, well, that's about as good as it's going to get. And he will be across town, 4,469 points for him. 69 more kilometers away than his opponent. And yeah, so 79. That he got 79. Oh, he got 10 meters, not. I just saw 10. I was thinking 10 kilometers. I was like,
nope.
Nope, that's not right. 10 meters. Definitely, that's not 10 kilometers away from the plane. 79 kilometers for that. Yeah, so the gap gets a little bit bigger, but I still think we're less than 1,000 points. So, you know, again, we are in Europe. One crazy roll round could turn things around.
It could, yeah. We'll see if we get some. But it's now reaching the point where it is kind of, you're not only requiring a rural round, but you're requiring a rural round in specific countries that have to be big enough to allow you to make up the 900 points or so that Pastek is behind. And there's not too many of those. And also, you're required to actually get pretty close. The only really good options he's got is another like Greece island somewhere that Armand just doesn't find, and he does. Other than that, maybe something in rural Spain. Other than that, I don't think there's too many countries where it's possible to make up that kind of ground. Italy maybe, because that can always be a bit hit or miss with going in different directions.
Well, let's jump in to round number 4 and see what they can do. And I don't think we're in the high mountain somewhere. This should be Switzerland, Austria, maybe Italy, but around the Alps for sure.
Yep, it is Switzerland, and Switzerland is definitely not big enough to make up. It's actually he's 660 points behind, so still doable if Armand gets the complete wrong side of Switzerland, maybe. But
but that's very unlikely, because language in Switzerland will just tell you what sort of section you're in. If it's more German, French, or kind of almost Italian even, and really point to where you are. So
yeah, Pastek's already seen some German. There's a sign towards Fribourg and Schwarzsee. Pastek not seeming aware of where there it is. Yeah, okay, and Mali as well on that sign. So he's gonna be close at least, as Armand has found the town entrance sign and a kilometer distance towards Fribourg as well.
We'll be in the same area.
That says 7 kilometers, right?
Yes.
On that sign. Okay.
Yep. Both of them in the same area. So unfortunately for Pastek, a very nice round, but his opponent up to the task, and actually quicker on it. He is really flying, Armand. Another 5. Okay, oops, didn't mean to make that one. There we go. But yeah, didn't even give it a chance. That's how fast he went through that one. On a roll. So
Yeah, Pasteque's found the town as well. Now he just needs to backtrack the way he started. Does have the street name there, Brederwannstraße. There it is.
follow that to the end.
There's
The end,
that.
but that little loop towards the end.
Yep. Bit further, Pasteque. Wrong direction. There we go.
That'll look right. There's a split. Looks good. And should see him guess here. Yeah, he's not really
convinced yet.
Yeah, I think he's looking for something that would be like a point of interest, something that's not there. So he's like, well, what?
Well, he's got the farm right there.
Yeah, so I don't know.
I mean, he does have the time to spend if he wants to.
So over a minute to go, so doesn't need to rush things, especially after he's dropped a couple points. It's worth being as accurate as you can, but figuring out over a few meters is not really going to do you a whole lot of good. You're still in that 5K range.
Mm-hmm.
In road direction again. There's a curve. Yeah, that should be it. Yep, he'll guess 5 meters away, an ace for him as well. So not too bad from him there, but again, a bit too easy. So it's all going to come down to this final round, and it's looking very unlikely in one round you can turn that much around against somebody who's on pretty good form today that Armand is on.
Yep, just Pasteque needed that luck in the first round in Greece, and he didn't get it. So, well, that's that presumably.
Yeah, that first round was definitely the most open round between these two. It's been pretty close and not a whole lot to separate them, so just a bit of unluck there. We'll jump into round number 5. And, well, this country is pretty big, but
about 2% of it is in Europe.
Yeah. So hopefully they don't forget that fact. And a top-level domain as well for Pasteque should certainly mark the city. And I think even if you know we're on the... Oh, there we go. Yeah, Armand's even got the city name. So GG to Armand. Not enough points can probably be dropped here.
Yep, definitely not. Even if Armand would be, which he obviously wouldn't be, but even if he would be on the complete wrong side of the European part of Turkey, you can maybe drop like 200-300 points, maybe even 500 or so, but 662, I don't think is very likely.
They both know they're in Istanbul, so... Oh, Armand currently on the Asia side, so technically out of bounds there, but I think he'll figure that out if he pauses for a second to think about it.
Yeah, not going to make too big of a difference, even if he goes on the wrong side of Istanbul.
Yeah. It would be interesting. How many points the wrong side of the city could you actually cost you?
I'm assuming it, because Istanbul is very big and depends on which borders you take, but I'm assuming you could maybe drop 100 points
on a European map. Yeah, maybe.
At most.
Yeah, on a world map, I would say not even 100, but on a continent map, I would think maybe 2, 3 at most. Just depend on how they actually drew their lines, because everybody's going to make their map a little bit different. What they think is Europe.
Aztecs on the wrong side of the city too.
Still got 2 minutes to correct himself. Yeah, I mean, we've said we're in Istanbul, but after that, I mean, this isn't the easiest city to pinpoint.
Yeah, definitely. They both have a couple of signs towards suburbs, and I know Pasteque found the road name. I'm not sure if Armand did.
Not too far from some major intersections either, but this is almost like you don't want to be in a mega city either. Too much information and hard to figure out which one is exactly the thing that you need. I have a road name, I've got the district, but yeah, then you've got to find that in this mess of labels.
Yeah.
Seems to be a pretty major church. It wouldn't be a church, it'd be a mosque, wouldn't it? Looked like a church. I don't know what that would be.
Hmm. Pretty big car park at the start, but I don't think that's what you'll be finding on
Yeah.
the map.
No. Probably not likely to stand out. Yeah, both of them pretty much going to spend quite a bit of time trying to figure out where in the city they are. Not a whole lot of clues either. I mean, you said there's those neighborhoods, but those are not exactly easy to find on a map. They are near a tunnel, which tunnels do appear on the map. So if there's not too many of those tunnels in the city, they might be able to just get lucky and skim over one.
There'll probably be quite a few.
Yeah, airport to the south, so that might be something to use.
Hmm. As they'll be running out of time very shortly, with neither of them finding the exact right place.
Armand, again, getting even luckier than Pastek in this one, who kind of gambles and goes a little bit further west than he needed to, 4,846, which means it will be a victory for Armand by a pretty good margin. And yeah, I think it looked like, maybe if you watch the video that he had a shot, like each round he wasn't too far off, he wasn't that bad. But the points kind of tell a very different story, that those small mistakes all add up over time, and you're a bit unlucky in the end. As we'll try to grab their final scores if they will give us a chance to look at it. There we go, 22,606 for Pastek, and Armand did give it to me. It wasn't quick enough. 23,402 for him. So yeah, about 1,000-point victory for Armand there, but probably to be expected going into this one.
Yeah, not the biggest surprise here. As we said, Pastek had a little bit of a chance with that round one, but being slightly further away there, it was always likely to end up this way unless we had another round that Armand couldn't find, and we did not. At least not to the point where it would have actually made a big enough difference. He couldn't find Istanbul the right road either, but yeah, as we said, even if he'd gone to the wrong side of the city, probably not made much of a difference.
Yeah. Was it enough for a bonus point though for him?
Nope. Let me just quickly check. 1, 2, 4.
Europe, very tight. A lot of Europeans as well. 8th place. Wow. Yeah. Just that competition, especially in a area like Europe that's going to be familiar to lots of people. Not going to let you drop many points at all. Well, thank you all for watching this one. We've got 1 or 2 more of these to bring you in Europe, so I hope you're enjoying taking a look at one of the oldest civilized continents in the world. Lots of players also from this, so they're close as they'll get to their home field advantage in this one. Definitely exciting to see. And yeah, we'll catch you all in the next one. Take care.